Hello and welcome. I'm Bill Wake. We're here working on the DECT program. It's going to be something, we're not quite sure what, but we're trying to work between the real world and the virtual world for index cards. So our focus today, I think we're going to worry about the card model objects. So right now we've identified rectangles out of images. We'd like to turn those into cards. Okay, so the current view is there's a state, which is an array of rectangles. If you click the Go button, it calls the rectangle finder, which populates that state. In a future world, you have a state of cards, an array of cards, I guess. You hit Go, it calls a card maker, or who knows what we call it, and that thing will use the rectangle finder and create cards that represent index cards, and then the UI can update that. Let's see, before I forget, next week I'm going to be out on Friday, unavailable, so no session Friday. I still intend to have this Sunday session, and we'll go from there. I'm traveling a little bit. All right. Let me put this on another screen. Okay, and I think I'll need a spare web browser too wouldn't hurt anything. On the off chance I have to look up something about Swift, right? Okay, hey Astrid, nice to see you again. Okay, so I just ran the tests a moment ago, and let's get over to our to-do. So extract card image to card object, and we have our UI right now. So whoops, let's get that up again. All right, so here I have an image. I've just hard coded it for now. I hit go, and the rectangle finder finds some of them. I think these others were a little too close to make it realize they were the right kind of rectangle. Same here, I'm assuming. This one seems to be off a little bit. It's chopped off some of the lettering. I don't know. I guess the other thing I wanted to do, let's see, make this kind of a multi-level experiment here. Up till now we've been using this Yacht 1 picture. Let me use the one with the cards for our actual stories. Dect.jpg over there. Okay, let's run that. And I've never run it on this image, so we'll see how it does. Okay, there we are. All right, so it's actually a really big picture, like 4,000 by 5,000 or something, but it's squeezed in here. So let's let the finder do its thing. Is it gonna find anything? Oh no. Okay. Do we get any message? Let's I don't think we have the mechanism to show it anymore. Where's the go button? Rectangles. Well, let's just try print rectangles here. I don't know what we'll get, but hopefully something semi-reasonable. Oh, I gotta run it again. And I don't know if the image is just too big or the contrast isn't right or the something, but it's rather discouraging. Empty. Oh my. Okay. Well, we'll go back to our yacht picture. Just kind of, sorry. Dumb luck that our first picture worked so well as it did. But we'll clearly have to address this at some point. Okay. We're back there. So one thing I was thinking was it would be good. I haven't tended to make much use of this content, the preview windows, and this it's been several versions since I tried it. So let's just see what we get. Okay, so this thing should show a content view, whatever we mean by that, and it's it's sort of restricted. I mean, it's just using the visual components. It only has the model you give it, which we don't use a model yet, so I don't quite know what it'll show. But it should try and show us an image and a button anyway. And I don't know. It's not encouraging to me that it's taking so long here. Okay, there we go. All right, no button, two separate things. I would call that weird. Did I do something funny down here? Huh. I would definitely call that weird. I mean, I have a view with two things on it, and I guess they're probably horizontally stacked by default, but like, what the heck? And this probably does nothing. Yeah, it just kind of shows you what code it would call. Okay, I'm puzzled, but I'll run with it. Okay. Let's see. Let me make this part of our state as well. And actually their advice I saw is call this private var, because states are really a local kind of thing. Okay. And so I'm taking it out of here, and let's resume. Should rebuild and run. And it shouldn't care. Okay. But what I think I can do. Well, all right. The thing I want is tabs. I'm imagining a row of buttons on the bottom. The first one's like the picture you load that we've been looking at, a camera. And the second one is, well, for now it's going to be our linear list. In the long run, it may be something else. I don't know what else may emerge. Let's try and give this a run. Well, I don't know what Command T just did. Okay. All right. So he's still got the image. That's fine. Yeah, as predicted. Swift UI. I remember it's tab item as part of it. I don't remember if it's tab view. Yeah. Okay. So you do a tab view for the overview, and then any individual view, you slap a tab item on it. Okay. That's doable. Okay. So a tab view, which contains, in our case, this button. Okay. Let me squeeze this over a little. Okay. And then you mark, this is really going to be a vertical stack. And then after the button, okay, a vertical stack. And our vertical stack is a tab item with the label what was there? Guess tab item with a closure. This is closer to what we want. Image, and let's try camera. I think is an image. All right. And then I'm going to have another image, or another thing. I'm just going to put some text, and let's see. Jeez, I can't even remember how to do text anymore. Let me just take a quick, no. Maybe I do put the text itself. This screen is going to be our list of cards. Okay. And so I'm just trying to get the shape of our environment here. Image. This is cards. And I don't know, card? I'm just making it up, but okay. So if I hit resume, I kind of want it to give me two tabs and look kind of like I want it to look. And okay, that name doesn't exist. Somewhere I've got, this is in beta. You'd think it would be out of beta by now. I probably need to update it. Okay. All right, so this is a bunch of predefined system images you have, and I don't know if we have something list.bullet. Got a bunch of rectangles. Ooh, rectangle.grid 1x2. I think that's it. Notice it updates like right away. That's characteristic of this thing. The preview, that you get that stuff now. To really run, I mean, if you want to see it in action, we have to run it. But it's given me some feeling of what I'm after. Okay, does it select? Yeah. Okay, so this is going to be where we put, once we've pulled down our cards, we're going to put them in this list like that. I was expecting more of a bar across there, but I don't pay enough attention to the apps and the styles, I guess. Okay, but that is more or less what I was hoping for. Is this, now to me, rectangle.grid 1x2, it looks a lot more like I'm getting .fill. What did I say? Rectangle.grid.1x2. All right. I don't know if they've changed the names a little. I can live with fill, but it's just weird. What if I put .fill on there? Huh. A little bit of a bug, I think. Or, again, maybe things have changed. Okay. I could pick this stuff, look at those all day, but all right. So, now, clearly this is not adequate. Okay. And this is a little confusing. Well, let's at least format it. Okay. Confusing in the sense of like, the main structure here is this tab view, but you get into all this stuff that clearly has nothing to do with all this stuff. Okay, so this stuff is really the sort of like image view. Okay, so I'll see if it'll extract a method. I don't know. Well, okay, I can get a method free. Let's do that. And this is image view. And really, I can make it a separate object at some point, and I probably will. But for now, we'll just work with methods. Oh, sure, you're not going to do that now. It's funny, it did the other one just fine. Okay. Well, let's make function card list. And I don't know what it needs. Not a lot. For now. It returns some view. And the contents is this. And the body is this. Okay. So I think that's at least a little more understandable. The tab view contains an image view, which is a tab, and the card list, which is another tab. And let's format, make sure that's all cute. All right, I'll run one more time. Build failed. Oh my, that's kind of horrendous. The return VStack, well, we don't need to say the return. That's okay. I just want to return some view. That was too much information. Okay, is that any better? Okay. And I'll just move this down. Okay. And really, it should be its own custom component. So notice this is lowercase, and the example over here is uppercase because he's defined order view and tab view as separate view objects. Okay. Let's run it and we'll check it in. All right. Yep. And this should still work. Okay. Commit this. So separate image from card list with tab view. Okay. Now, this state, So today we have this group of rectangles. I would really love to display cards instead. Okay. So what's a good way to get from here to there? In the card list, well, okay, what would be forward? I mean, one thing I could do is kind of like this, right? Just run through these things. Okay, I'm gonna change it sufficiently to be. All right, let's just show text, and then I'll just put rectangle in quotes and do a two-string in effect. Okay. So I've got list of cards. Okay, what's going on? No return statements. Oh, yeah. Okay, let's put this in a VStack. Okay. Result of text. No exact matches. Now, what do we have to do up here? We had rectangle in rectangle. No exact matches in call to instance method append interpolation. Well, I don't think I can put dollar here. That's going to be a binding. Well, let's try text with rectangle. Oh, what is it? It's like debug print string or something. No, that's not what I want. Print. No, there's some like custom string convertible or some awful thing. Let's just cast it in and see what it does. CG Rect, no exact matches to this. Let's see what we got. Lots of initializers, but not the one I want. Okay, this is more like it. Use initializer to convert an instance of any type to its preferred representation. If it conforms to custom string convertible, yeah, that's the thing I was thinking of. Print string, describing. Okay, let's try that word in there. Describing rectangle. I'm going to hide this. Okay. So my hope is we get a list of strings vertically that look like rectangle coordinates like we just saw in that debug window there. Okay, so I'll go, if I go to cards, okay, I'm getting stuff. All right. That's, we certainly are picking up that. Okay, what's a good way to get from here to there? Okay, what's crossing through my mind? One thing is like, could I make things generic so these things show up? So, all right. What's there's an alias type I can do? Oh, is that Swift? Swift type alias. Yeah. Type alias name equals type. Okay, let's try that. let's just force card to be CG Rect for now. Okay. If I do that, I think this should be okay. Is that true? I'm not seeing any complaints. Yeah, okay. So what I want to do, where's our go button? Yeah, so in here these rectangles, I don't want to just mark it based on the rectangles. I want to call a new card with that rectangle. Can I make that work? Well, a card has a will respond to describing like we're doing down here. Okay. Um, it may not get the same description, but it will get a description. So let's make I don't know, it's kind of a boring test, but let's start our card tests. New file. Is that the right thing? No, it doesn't sound right. I guess. Okay. This is card tests. And we'll put it in deck tests for now. Okay. And I just want to make sure card has a description. So card has description. We may not keep this test, but well, let's start it. Okay, so let card equal card with I guess a CG rectangle, and X is 1, well, 5, and Y is 0.3, and width is 10%, and height is 25%. Okay, so that's the kind of card I would like to make. And yeah, I don't have that class. I don't have a constructor. Okay. And then my assertion is I'm going to say that if you say string describing card, I expect to get back, I don't know. Okay. It's going to describe something. Okay, so this is, I don't know, it's TDD by cheating, I guess, or something. All right, I need a card, and I don't think I get a little helper for this. What is it? Whoops, not that. Does that give me... show code actions, I guess. Yeah, there's no volunteers there. Okay. Well, I think this is probably a model object, so let's put card in here. Swift file. Card. And I don't know, I just have to alphabetize these. I try random order or grouping things, and I never end up coming out all right. All right, so this is card. And all we know about it is it has an initializer that takes a CG rect. Rectangle. Of type CG rect. And we're not going to do anything for now. This is a redeclaration because we have it in here. Yeah, could I assert, where did we get this? Where do we get this? Could I assert non-empty? Yeah, I could assert non-empty. I'm just, I kind of want to see what it does. So the non-empty would say, yes, it was non-empty, probably. I think maybe UIKit has that. I thought it would just pop up and volunteer, Yeah. Okay. So I'm doing nothing. Yeah, so I'm doing a string, so I'll get a comparison that says, here's the string you get back, and I can use it. If I just asserted non-empty, either it is or it isn't. Neither one's going to give me much information. So I think this is a valid test. It will certainly fail. Okay. I don't know. Can I do a private type alias? No. Okay, so we're going to have to do a little playing around here. Ugh. Cannot convert value of type card to rectangle. That looks weird to me too. Candidate expects the value of dictionary or decoder. It's okay. Well, shoot. I was hoping this alias thing would save us from having to worry about it. Rectangles are CG rects. Maybe just put them back to CG rect for now. If I spell it right, I'm sure that'll help. Okay, something's clearly wrong. Card test. Did it run card tests? That's the first question. Okay. Yeah, I ran the wrong thing. Okay. Let's run card tests. That's better. Okay, what did we get? Deck.card. Not so helpful. Should card inherit from CG Rect? No, I don't think so, because a card in the long run, like, it's not going to be a type of rectangle. It's its own thing. So I don't think it will. I mean, it might be a way to kind of squeak one more step out. But like CG Rect, I think is a pretty low level type. I'm not sure. I'm not sure we get much leverage there. So, let's see. Well, I mean, I'm printing something. So this, well, no, that's not what we learned. What we learned was, well, I lost it, but custom string convertible, custom debug string convertible. Debug string convertible. Okay, so conforming to this protocol, we have to have a debug description. Let's see, custom string convertible. We also had, and that may be more appropriate for us, I think. I think we have to have a description field. Yeah. Okay, so if we conform to this, that, all right, so this was decked.card, and that should make that pass now anyway, but that's not what we really want. Okay, so what I want is more like those other things we had. So I have to use numbers that come out in legal terms for binary floats, or else I'll never get this thing right. Okay, so I think this should be 0.5, 0.25, 0.75, 0.25. Okay, laggy again. I wonder why that is. I thought I had the setting that was like no lag. Okay, so I'm going to now try and convert my class, my new class. I'm going to give it a constructor. Sorry, give it a conformance to that protocol and a description string. So we'll take this and card. Card. Okay, I'm going to conform to custom string, which requires me to have a description. I guess I'll put it below the initializer. Public description. What did they do? Just var? No. Yeah, var description of type string is, all right. And for now, I'm just going to put something wrong. Okay. And this test should fail now. Okay. And it's failing because I don't even keep track of these values, right? Much less return them in the proper way. So let's give this thing the CG rect. Var C, is it a var? Let's let rectangle be of type CG rect. Okay, so we're going to save the rectangle, and then down here we're going to return string describing rectangle. Okay. And this should be right, except maybe they may have zeros in it or something, or maybe they put the word CG rect in there or something like that. Nope, that's right. Okay, cool. All right, let's push this. So what we did was we added a card type. That knows a rectangle and its description. A little ambiguous, but we'll get by. Okay. I don't often start by testing initializers like this, but I think that's okay. Let's see if we can use this thing now. So if this is a card and something should be complaining here. Okay, well, let's make our go create. Right now it gets a list, sorry, it gets an array of rectangles. So I think I can do map to, there's a way to do it with the constructor. I think it's just, is it card : init? Like that? Okay. No, it's not. That's probably Java. Who knows? I blend them all in my head so much now. Let's see. Swift map calling constructor. Don't know if that's gonna do it. I guess I could try card, but I don't think that works. What do I know? Okay. Is that, well, that seems happy enough. Okay. So now we have these rectangles. I mean, we need to change them to cards, but I think this should just be, I think this should be okay. For each requires binding element to conform to hashable. Ooh, our cards need to be hashable. Okay, let's, I don't know. I don't think I'm allowed to just run the, like I really should be able to just run this test and be fine. Let's do extension card is hashable. Okay. And we had an example because somewhere out here we have CG Rect plus hashable. Utility. Okay. Oh my, I have to be equatable too, huh? Okay, well, let's back out. Okay. This was just rectangles. Put this back to CG Rect. Okay. So let me make a test. Let's hide this for a moment. Okay, I don't know if I have to do anything, but I need to make my thing equatable. Okay, so extension card is equatable. I think it'll offer me something. Yes, I do. Okay. Let's just return false and get a test in for this thing. Okay. So, what I learned, this was from James Shore about like value object test that did all this stuff, and it's just a standard format he has. And I find it useful when you have to have equatable and hashable and all that stuff. Okay, so the pattern is we define 3 objects. So let card 1A is going to be, let's just take this. We may fold this test into one big test. Okay, so we'll create one like this. We'll create a duplicate. And then we'll create a different one. I'll just throw in something to make it a different rectangle. Okay. And so what we do then is we're going to say, well, I'm going to be very explicit. Assert true card 1A dot equals card 1B. Okay. And the reason I'm doing it this way is because I don't trust assert equals that it necessarily calls this operator. It might, and somebody can correct me if it should, but and then you can do the reversal just to kind of be kind of a sanity check. But it should be false that card 1A equals card 2. Okay. And then on the hash side, assert equal card1a dot hash. Is that the right? Now I forget what you do in Swift to get the hash. Hash value, yeah. Okay. These two things have to have the same hash value. Card1b dot hash value. But we can't assert anything about 1 versus 2. They could be the same, they could be different. We don't know. And then also, I think James usually in this pattern also just puts the two string versions. So we'll combine these tests like that. Okay, so we know that card 1A should have this description. All right, and that should be fine. Oh, sorry, that should fail. No, hash works equals won't. Okay, so our asserts failed because we just returned a hard-coded false. Our hash is okay because it's stupid, and our string is okay because we made it work. Okay, but this test is completely redundant to that one, or supersedes that one. All right, now let's go make equals work. And I think from the messages, I think we can conclude that equal works for CG Rects. Okay, so if these things have the same rectangle, they're the same. Okay, and I think that'll make our test pass. And then the hashing, I'm like pretty sure you can't just say rectangle. Are you going to complain? Is it hashable already? Why did we have to define our own hash if this is hashable? Okay, well, what do I know? Okay, whoops. Okay, and our test should pass. I'll just run them all, including the useless one. Okay. Yeah, I think we're good. And I don't know, this extension style is pretty common. Let's just follow that for each of our protocols. Okay, so that's just refactoring. I'm just pulling it out so you can kind of look at each one on its own and not have to kind of fight your way through all the methods that would correspond. In this case, just the constructor. All right, and test should still pass. All right, and so we created card, or we gave make card conform to custom string convertible, hashable, and equatable, and we'll push. Okay, we're not, well, I've done worse. It's time for a break. We'll take 2 or 3 minutes, and then we'll come back and take our 4th run at converting CG Rect to card, and hopefully that's the one that does it. See you in a couple minutes. All right, welcome back. Okay, here we go. At least by now we know where to find it. Okay, so let's turn this into a card. We'll hide this. Okay, I think we'll deal with the down here first. Go button. Okay. Why are you not complaining? something is not quite right. Cannot convert value of card to expected type. Okay. We may have to ask for the rectangle. These are now cards. Rectangle dot. Okay, we'll reveal that for now. And this one, well, last time it seemed to accept this. I don't know if that really does it, though. Well, okay, I can certainly do that. We can just call the constructor with it. Okay. Maybe. I feel like there probably is a better way, but I don't know. That's adequate. Okay, is everybody happy? Let's run it. And now if we do go, we should have a bunch of cards with images or no rectangles. I mean, the formatting's ugly and all that. Don't have enough to scroll. Okay, but we did it. All right, so let's convert. Instead of CG Rect, I'm going to play around a little, even though this view is disposable, the text view we have, card list. We can give this thing a bigger font. Oh, let's see. I don't know if I just say font. There's a way to let's see, Swift UI text with large font. I don't need a custom size. Dot font. Well, okay, that must be dot font I'm okay with, but I feel like there's like standard descriptors for the sizes. I don't know how I do them. Maybe I just say dot large or something like that. No, that's what I'm after. Dot title. All right, dot title is a very large one, so let's use that. Dot none. Dot title. Okay, are you gonna be happy? All right, and I'm just trying to get a large font, just so we get enough that we can regret whether or not it scrolls. Okay, so yeah, so I have to do some work to make that scrollable. I don't know if I just put it in a scroll view, it might just do the whole job. Yeah, looks like I just have to do that. Okay, let's do it. Well, right, should be empty, should be full, should be scrollable. Okay, when things work out for you, they've got the pieces there to make it work nice. All right, so we made card list scrollable. Okay. Now, this is let's see. This is a part. Get this thing. I'm tripping all over my environment here. Okay, well, not as good as when I first did it. Okay, so we have text on these things. We don't want text. We really just want pictures of the rectangles that we've selected here. I wish I could trim out the non-white part around the edges and stuff, but if I had what's in these rectangles, I'd be pretty content. Okay. Let's see. So I think what we need to do is go deeper into what a card is. All right. Right now we've just said a card is really a container for a rectangle, but in our case, what we're after is really at least one image. And we haven't dealt with stories with taking multiple pictures, but we want to be able to in the long run. I don't know if we want just the one image or we want to be able to rotate between them or what, but certainly we need at least one image. So our cards don't know images at all. But to display the image that we want to display, so I would like a stack of these cards in whatever order the finder found them for us. I want a yacht card followed by a user starts turn followed by whatever, assuming whatever order they came. I'm not dealing with order yet, but I want each of these pictures to be my picture. And I think I'm going to do that by reference to the big picture and the rectangle. And so if you had those two things, could you produce an image or whatever it is we need in our images? Okay. So I think it's a UI image. Let's see what we can find here. So image is it's really a weird scheme. Image is the Swift UI object that displays an image on the screen. UI image, which is the type of this, let's go see it. Image, I believe, is a UI image. Okay. Where's constructors? Image, you can give it a string, but we're giving it we're giving it a UI image. Let's find UI image. Yeah, UI image. So we're doing this one, UI image. UI is from UI kit. It's I don't know. It's a little weird to me, but it's what it is. The UI image is the thing that we're loading into memory up here. Okay. We've created this based on looking it up in our files, like in our sample folder here. We put them there. And I think that's what we want. I mean, you could argue for this, but I think we want the UI image. Okay, is what our card knows, because I think when we get more sophisticated and we support the actual camera, you could take a picture. We're not going to have the name per se, although I don't know how that's all set up, but I'm imagining we can get a UI image from the camera. It may be that the name is a name in our folder, so that's not the same. I didn't know if like the photo library gives things names and you refer to them with some sort of name across that. But I'm just going to assume UI image for now. We may have to change it in the future, but somebody ought to tell you what's the UI image you're displaying from. And if you had that and somebody asked for the image, I'm imagining there's something that will chop out a rectangle's worth of imagery for us. Now, maybe that's worth a spike, or at least maybe it's just worth a read in the documentation, right? Let's, not everything's a spike. Okay, so system name in a bundle, we don't need that. Contents of file or data, that may be more like their speed. Okay, but I guess what we want, not draw, resizable image. Maybe let's get somewhere we have the image and I'm just going to do source image dot. Okay. Oh, come on. Okay. Let's just do var x equals source image dot. No, come on. You're going to make me read this thing, aren't you? Image without baseline. Let's look for CG Rect because we want to draw in a CG Rect. Yeah. No. Okay. Swift copy part of image. Okay, that's kind of what we want. OpenCC v2, that doesn't sound quite like Swift. Yeah, very nice, but not relevant to us. Did I say Swift? I did. Download Swift. Stretchable images. Okay, let's read about images. Can I make an image from another image? I can't pass a CG Rect. We saw that because that was only draw in. Maybe I could say crop an image. Oh, init CG image. CG is core graphics, another layer. Scale orientation, that's not quite right. Animated. I guess we can get the CG image. Tinting drawing. No, okay. Swift crop UI image. Okay, somebody's asking the right question. I want to write a function that takes an image and crops out everything except something in the middle. He's drawing in rectangle? Get image from current image context. Okay. I don't know. I just want it to be easy. Crop image in Swift. Advanced Swift. Center crop image. Crop UI image. Center crop the image. Use the cropped image. Cropping? CG image. Oh, CG image has cropping to crop rectangle. Okay, so let's go find CG image. Use the crop CG image to initialize a cropped UI image with the same scale and orientation. Well, this is pretty close. Let's take this reference. Extract card image to card object. Okay, I guess we've started doing that. We've made some progress. Wow, January's almost over here. Okay, so if I gave the constructor the original image, can my card give back an image? Okay. Show us a distinct MP file with which card comes from out of the image class. Yeah. Okay, so I guess we'd store the MD5 instead of the image value. I'm definitely avoiding dealing with persistence so far, but it isn't terrible to imagine not wanting to store a whole image in the other thing. It may be. Well, one possibility is I wrap my own image types. Like I have card images that could either be a UI image or a UI image in a rectangle, or maybe they're this hash in a rectangle. As long as they can answer, like, what's your image when we show it in the list view, that would be okay. I think we'll put that in our pocket. Okay, I don't know if can I copy this text. Well, find card on image shouldn't be part of the image. Yeah, so are you saying we shouldn't know the rectangle? We should just know the image that we're saving in the card? because I don't think, yeah, I don't think. It certainly doesn't feel like the rectangle is too interesting for the image. And I'm trying to think ahead a little tiny bit because I may have multiple images associated with a card. But maybe that doesn't matter. Well, that's where I'm not so sure. I mean, I think the virtual card is going to know the image card. Um, sorry, the virtual card is going to know the image of the real card. I think. Yeah, it's just a representation, but I mean, I think it's something the card needs to know. I mean, what I'm imagining is that there's image and other information. So again, I'm kind of peeking ahead of story, but one of my other stories was I'm going to let you click on the card and annotate it with um, your human read, your human version of what this thing is. So type in the text instead of trying to image recognize it because we kind of found that wasn't out of the box free. So I'm not quite willing to make the project be about that. Um, but it's a representation. But I think I mean I could see something that an argument that a card image is different than a UI image or a CG image or something like that, or it knows it. Maybe it knows that we don't care. It's not our business. But I think somehow we have to be prepared to say, here's an image I want you to show when you talk about this card. And whether it says I'm holding a UI image or a CG image or a card image or whatever, I think the card knows that stuff. I mean, that really is tied to the card. And again, looking forward, like at some point we're going to try and match images to cards. We take a picture, we take a second picture, and try and realize which ones are the same. I want it to kind of answer like, yes, I can tell you my image, and somebody judges the similarity and decides if it's the same image or something like that. Let's see, we don't need that view. um, so I don't know. I mean, how unaware are you saying it shouldn't know UI image or those system level ones, or do you feel like it shouldn't know the image at all? Now, let's see. Let's go back to card where we create it. Okay, we know the rectangle. We theoretically, well, we know the image. Um, hmm. I think the argument. That's true. Yeah, I don't want to know the. Yeah, I don't. I guess I don't really want to know the big image is not my problem. I just want to. Um, I just want to know my image. So yeah, maybe rectangle is not the right thing, but I could definitely see an image. Well, do I ever need to get back to the big image? That's the concern I have. But in any case, I could definitely see just passing in the image to the rectangle, and your job is report. Remember this image, and do things with it like match it to other images and stuff when I ask for it. But um, yeah, let's push that way. Okay, and it probably is at least a method to convert. And maybe that's this. Maybe this is the answer here. I don't know. cropping to crop rect. Okay, so let's find CG image. Hopefully I can just find documentation. Yes, that's what I want. And we know there's a cropping to create a bitmap using the data combined with the subregion of an existing bitmap image. And we get back a CG image, potentially. And from a CG image, we can make a UI image, which is what we need to display on the screen. Okay, at least with Swift UI. Okay, so his suggestion is take the source image, get the CG image, then crop it to your rectangle, and that's all he's doing is making that. Okay, scale, source image dot image renderer scale, I guess. I believe you. Who knows? It'll give us something. Okay, so this fits what we're doing. So I think what we want to say is this, where's go? Let's get a constructor that takes an image. And I guess that's, in the end, this is a UI image and that's what we want. Okay. And with that, we could create a list of images, just like this one. Okay. Do I just want to add a constructor? Is that going to make things easier? Let's see. And this code is it's the kind of code I always am on the fence about. Is this a testable chunk of code? Okay. And I don't know, I was also had this tension of the shape of a solution. I try and get that and not worry about details too much, but we're kind of crossing that line a little. Okay. What are we saying? I guess we're saying let's not let's undo the rectangle. We're saying we really want to store a UI image. Okay. And that all right. Let's say we wanted to store an image, and I guess we get back the image we stored. Do images compare? We don't know. It seems unlikely. Okay. Gosh. Well, yeah, I mean it could certainly be the thing finding the images for us. All right, so let's get this card thing into shape on that. It needs to know images. Okay, so let's flip this around. Okay, so I'm gonna say, all right, I'm gonna create a new constructor, and just to kind of move things over, value object, and this will be old. I'm going to let it be in parallel a little bit and then get rid of the other one. Okay. Let image 1 equal, and I think we're going to do just like we do here. We're just going to take a UI image. Yacht 1 and image 2 is Yacht 2. Okay, and we're going to use it. Card is image 1 for now. Image 1 and image 2. Okay, and then this part stays the same. Card 1, hash value, and the string is not going to be the same. I'm going to simplify this a little bit. Okay, I'm going to say the description should start with card. Okay, now our constructor does not take image. Let's give it one. Do that, I think. Gives me zeros or something. And I'm not storing the image, so this should fail. Actually, the first one's going to fail too, because the old one's going to fail because I'm saying it should start with card now. Yeah, that's how I regard this as image. Is interim. Okay, how did you pass? Oh, I didn't change anything on the type. Okay, it failed here because the rectangles are now the same, and this fails because we don't start with card. Okay, so let's take the easy one. Start with card. All right. What I want to do, let the name, is it UUID? You can't guess string from that? Okay. And I'm going to make the description return name for the moment. Whoops. Okay. This should pass now. Okay. The hash value is okay. This is not working because we don't compare on images. Okay. So equals, we got to store the image. Image of UI image. I'll just throw in junk here. Named. We're gonna kill it off in a moment, so let's just use deck.jpg. And this one, self.image equals image. Okay. I want to say these. Can I combine? I don't know if I can do this, and I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, well, they'll work if image is equatable, and it's not complaining, so I'm hoping. Because it uses that overloaded equals that's here if it has it. We'll find out if it has it. Okay. Now I'm expecting the first test might fail, but the second test should be getting closer. Okay. Well, I don't want the first test. I want to get rid of this constructor. Now I'm going to break stuff on the front end, but I'm okay with that. And everything is about images, so nobody looks at rectangles. Okay. And I don't need that anymore. Okay. Now the test should pass. Somebody's going to complain. Yeah. Oh dear. Oh, that's a tricky one. If two images have the same contents. Okay, let's see if we can get through this one first. This one is saying each rectangle this one implies to me we need the rectangles for our use. Because we are displaying them in that first window. Okay, so I think my conclusion of that is, okay, if I rename this, well, let me back up a little here. Let's go back to where we had, I believe our tests are passing with this. Okay, sorry. Reading your thing again. Is equal determines whether the two images contain this image data, same image data. Is that enough to be equal in our context? That's a puzzle to me. Okay, but let's make card no image. Not just rectangle. Okay. So that's our last good point. Okay. So I think, oh gosh, that's tough. All right, so let's incorporate what you said there is equal to this image. I don't know that that's enough. Yeah, yeah. Where I'm going is like if I create two card objects from the same image, I don't know that they should be the same. um, that's I'm not sure on that one. I think okay. Let's make sure test still pass. Test might fail even though we have the same image data. Yeah, so that's concerning, right? Same image data. I don't know. You know, I put in this UUID. Okay, let's see. How do I want to do this? I got three things going on and it's confusing me. One thing in my mind is two cards created from the same image I don't think are equal until we've proven they're equal. In other words, I think if we created two cards with the same image, they should be independent until somebody merges them explicitly. I think. I mean, we'll have to see how things play out, but I think that's the case. And then if so, that tells me I shouldn't rely on the image to compare them, and maybe I should be using the UUID instead. And I put that in because it gives me something. It gives me something to compare by. Maybe I should work on getting this card class better first. Okay, I want to say you should really be using the name at this point. I think I believe this is what should be true, and this should break our test. Yeah. Okay. We can see because the hash messed up. Okay. So let me make this. They're not really exactly value objects. Okay. Let it equal this. Okay. And then down here, I want to hash on id. And I want to, I'm hard coding, so I'm going to say it should be card id. Okay. And so I think my test is not quite right at this point. Something should pass since the 1A, 1B thing should be failing. Right. 1A and 1B hash different because they are different. I don't think I can create two equal cards under the scheme I'm laying out. I don't think that's a bad thing, but I don't think it's interesting. A card equals itself, that should be true. And then this doesn't apply. Okay, I think that's my right test, and I think that test will pass. And I can fix this name. He should just be card 1. Whoops. Okay. Now this, okay, I think the hash hash goes on the id, equatable should go on the id too. Id equals rhs.id. And this implicit identifier means when cards move around, we know which one's which because they have an ID. Okay, and let's see, what's that called? It's identifiable. Yeah. Okay, yeah. So you guarantee they're always unique. And I think, yeah, I just have to declare it. Okay, so I am identifiable. And you can't do that in the extension like we did the others, but a card is an identifiable object. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Okay, so maybe I will make this card 1A again. Okay, so card 1B with the same image, assert it equals itself, but it's false that card 1A equals card 1B. And this test is no longer a value object per se. It's just card is hashable and equatable. Okay. This, yeah. Good point. So creating it, this line is, that's the surprise. Okay. Yep, they're no longer value objects. A value object should be compared based on its contents, and two with the same content should be identical, but these are not. Okay. And this test, I believe, will pass. And I don't often put comments, but I think this line is so unexpected, you might not, your eye might slip over it otherwise. Okay. I think card is on the right track. Okay, now I can take out rectangle. Well, actually, let me fix content view next. Okay. My conclusion on this is content view needs to know both the cards and the rectangles. Okay, so I'm going to call this one cards. Okay, and I'm going to keep track of rectangles too. Okay, and I guess I'll just move this up just because it feels more global. Okay. Now, any reference to cards? Can I find the references? Caller. Yeah, that's weird. Okay. What I think I need then, this stuff, this should be going through rectangles. Okay. And then this needs to store two things. rectangles equals identified rectangles, and cards equals that. Okay. These are now rectangles. They don't have rectangles. Cannot find source image. You'd think that would be okay by now. Okay. All right. And what do we got here? Cards are still being defined by rectangle. I don't think I want them to be. Let me just make this weird for a minute. Card of, let's just give it source image for now. We'll call the other constructor. Okay. So, yeah, that's just slow. Okay, so I'm keeping the rectangles. I'm using them to draw this. I should say it this way. I'm keeping the rectangles here. I'm using them to draw the card outlines. I'm also creating source images that aren't quite right, because I think what your suggestion earlier, maybe the Finder should be giving me, it should know the images as well as the rectangles. And I'm okay that it doesn't yet. But I've got an image, I've got a card. I don't want to call that rectangle constructor anymore. I don't think anybody's using it now. Okay, so this callers, no callers. All right, so let's run this. Well, we're going to see something. Okay, this should still get their images. Yay. These should be random numbers with the word card in front of them. Yes. Okay. So nothing's looking at the images on the cards yet, but we do have independent cards, because notice each one's got its own random number here, UUID. And those UUIDs, well, we don't use them here, but we can use them in lists and stuff like that. So this, let's see, Swift UI list, I think, is its own thing. Maybe they got rid of that. I can't remember. List 2021. So that's relatively recent. Right. So I don't know if list is scrollable. Let's switch to list and see how it looks. Okay, so instead of scroll view, let's do a list. Okay, that's all right. I mean, it's a fancier box, but it'll give us some stuff. All right, I'm liking that, and it's scrollable, and I think it's even you can easily turn on delete and stuff like that. Okay, I'm feeling like we're progressing. So let's save this because it's tests are passing. Cards, no image, but not rectangle. And which one was it? I guess the content view for now keeps both rectangles and cards. Okay, that's a step forward. Now card, we can get rid of the rectangle stuff. No one's calling this. No one's keeping the rectangle. Cards, all that stuff looks good. Test should pass. All right. Unused rectangles from card. Okay. Now, the place where it's not so good, but I think we can yeah. So the place that's not so good is this one I marked here. Um, we're creating the card. We're just throwing in the source image, not the image that the little sub image. Okay. But I'm going to skip that for a minute because what I want to do is I would like cards to be willing to reveal their image, and I think if they do, we can put that here. Image. Um, let's change this to card. Okay. We can put image with card. Let's make sure that's what we did up here. UI image. Card dot image. Okay. And then I'm going to take this font off because I don't care. Card dot image. All right. With luck, what I'm expecting to see is some variation of our original source image repeated n times in a list and with a little bit of text underneath them that has the card name. Okay, it's kind of big. But it's kind of what I want. All right. It's putting two separate items in the list. I don't really care, but okay. This is closing in. We can do some sizings of work. We could put these in one thing, but we did some up here. Right, resizable aspect ratio fit. That's a good thing. Okay, so each image should conform to that too, and I'm hoping to get some skinny images that look right, but they're all the same one. Okay, so yeah, so this makes me feel good that the shape of where we're going is good. If our cards really were given the proper image, they would be showing card images at this point selected from our main image. Okay. It doesn't sound like 10 minutes work, but maybe it'll work. Okay. Um, so I'm gonna, let's see. I think I agree with Astrid that it would be better if the rectangle finder actually were willing to convert those things. But I'm going to be lazy for a minute. Yeah, just do the cropping. So just so that we can try and get the cropping done, I'm going to take that and make a little method. Okay. And again, I'm kind of cheating. I don't know. I don't know a really good way to say that I'm going to test this. Because really what I'm going to do is visually look at it and decide if I like it. But um, let's just say crop, and we need an image of UI image, and we need a rectangle. Do I want to call it rectangle? Bounds of CG Rect. Okay. And somehow in all that, we're going to do this thing. Okay. So this is just image. This is bounds. And we'll return cropped image. Okay. And then in here, we want to create cards. Well, we're going to take crop source image. bounds rectangle. And one more print. Okay, and I'm taking that off. Well, I'll leave it for a minute. Crop. Type empty to type image. Convert value of type. Oh. Returns UI image. All right. What we're hoping is those little rectangles in red show up over here. Okay. I don't know where it's getting those. They don't really match anything here, do they? All right. Let's see. I guess I'm willing to just kind of print some stuff and see what's going on here. Source image scale. That seems like it's probably correct because if it's 10 dots per inch, pixels per inch or whatever, that's fine. I guess the image orientation shouldn't change. Yeah, we're kind of back in a coordinate conversion thing, maybe. I don't know if this had an example that. Okay, let's read what they said up here. Use a rectangular crop. And I guess the question will be like, which coordinate system is this working in? Okay. So side length. Well, they're centering. That's probably not right for us. X offset is in terms of source image coordinates, right? So we're not in the 0 to 1 range thing again. Okay. Which is what may be the issue. So I could believe, okay, like if we could find, yeah, let me, we left them in 0 to 1 land. Okay, let me the rectangles, I believe we left our find image thing in 0 to 1 land. Yep. Okay, so I think we're just getting a little tiny corner of our square up in the top left somewhere. And that's that dark red. Yeah, they're in the 0 to dot 1 against an image that's a lot bigger. So we're going to have to scale things. Let's okay, we got 5 minutes left. Okay, this is more of a spike than a real TDD. Let it be known, because I'm gonna say bounds to is well. The X image dot, where did they get size dot? Image dot. No, that's the width height. What's the offset? Now they're just centering. Image dot, it's not size. I'm not even seeing size on here. Yeah. Height, width. Yeah, it's not size. Offset. Actually, I can live with bounds X and bounds Y for the moment, and just do the rectangle, and we'll get some chunk of the screen that will look like not just red blur. Width is bounds dot width times image dot size dot width, and height is bounds dot height times size image dot size dot height, and then we got to use bounds too. Okay. Run. Whoops. Bounds dot min x. Okay. Go, and please give us chunks of code. Okay. They're all starting in the same position, so the XY offsets aren't scaled. But yes, we are grabbing something that's card size, more or less. I mean, I think it looks like about a third. If we stretch down a third, if we position the offsets right, I think that looks about right. We got down to just under yacht, so the bottom third maybe matching up to the top third there is close. I think if our offsets were right, this would be fine. And the pictures are probably very subtly different. It may be like 0 to 1 on a coordinate system of a couple thousand, so it's probably not visible. But I think they are probably different. But that's where we're stopping today. So we have to continue our spike next time, and let's say spike resolve coordinate system of cropped rectangles, and that's something we can pick up on next time. Okay, so we're off next Friday, but I should be on next Sunday, 1 to 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern. Thanks for joining me. Thanks, Astrid, for all your suggestions as usual. And we're getting there. I wish we had gotten just another 20 minutes. We probably could get that. I shouldn't say that. Every time I do it, I'm wrong. But at some point by next time, hopefully we can straighten those out, and we will be viewing a linear list of true extracted cards, and that'll be progress. Okay. All right. Take care. Bye-bye.